Hello, my name is Ozzy, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create a workflow inside of GoHighLevel so you can be a workflow pro even if you are a beginner. So let's jump into things. Okay, so let's jump into things. So the first thing I want to go over in this video is the importance of having a pipeline and making sure that the pipeline that you have got is arranged in the order that you'd like. So let's say we want to call this pipeline the sales pipeline. Your sales pipeline, you have leads, you have hot leads, things, sales, and let's cold leads or a long-term nurture sequence or a database reactivation. They can go into there. That's cool. That's for this video. Save that. Come over into the opportunities tag and go on to sales pipeline tests. So we've got these new leads, hot leads, bookings, sales, and cold leads. And now this is where all of your leads will be so that you can view and manage the leads in your pipeline. Now we jump over into the automations setup. We're going to click create workflow and start from scratch. Now you can start from their preset automations, but to be honest with you, by building a pretty simple workflow, you don't need to do that. So we can just call this workflow follow-up. Okay, so in the workflow settings, you've got allow re-entry. Now we don't want to be allowing people to re-entering into this automation. However, if it's an automation where people can re-entry, you can obviously switch that off. If you would like people to allow contact with multiple opportunities, so they're in different pipelines, they've got different tags to be in this pipeline as well, into this automation as well, you can switch this on or off, and I just suggest you keep this to what you're at. Now, communication wise, obviously we want that the time zone we're at, and time window, that's if you want it at a specific time. You know, if you've got open hours, if you're only open between 9 to 5, you only want your SMSs and you want your notifications to be sent to your team inside your work hours, make sure you have specific time set. And this is just where you can see all contacts being enrolled into your automation. So the first thing we want, triggers. Now triggers is what causes the automation to obviously trigger. So this is pretty important when it comes to picking your trigger. In this video, I'm just going to be explaining how to create an automation as to where someone submits a form or a survey. So our trigger is going to be form. Now, you can also have triggers such as tag added or appointment booked, task added, really important. We can have webhook if you're creating webhook. Facebook lead form, if you'd like to set up your Facebook lead form for your automation, do that. You know, book an appointment if they change in the pipeline. So there's loads and loads of things that can trigger your automation. So it's going to be form has been submitted. Now, what we're going to have to do now is just click add filters. The form is the form that you're going to be using. Just be using this form 0. So now we've got our trigger set up on what you'd like. Oh, you can add multiple triggers if you would like, but that's completely dependent on how many automations you're running and how specific you want the automation to be upon that trigger or upon what people are doing to be entering that automation. So you can add this. Okay. If you want to add multiple triggers, you can have survey is the survey that you like to select. But in this instance, like I say, we're just going to be using that form submitted. Now, what I want to be doing now is creating an opportunity. So what this does is it adds this lead or opportunity directly into our pipeline. So we can just put that into the sales pipeline test, and they're a new lead, so we're just going to select that new lead section. Now the opportunity name, what you can do is you can click on this tag over here, down to contact, scroll down, go to contact full name, and that will just have a custom field of the contact's full name. Now the opportunity source, if you're running, this form is on your website. This form is on your landing page for Facebook. You can put Facebook there. So in this instance, what we're doing is we're pretending to be a flooring company. So flooring average value 5 to 10k. So that's okay there. opportunity value, and it's open. Now what this means is you can have an open, a one, or an abandoned. And as an open, what open does is open can move to any stage in the pipeline. Lost typically goes to your cold leads or your people who aren't moving services, select them in the lost section, and you can have allow opportunity to move stage. So if someone's become a warm lead, they booked an appointment, but they haven't turned up, you can move them back to warm leads. So now we have the first stage in our automation, which is essentially adding them to our sales pipeline. Now, the next thing that we can do, we can add a tag. Now, this is important because if you are running ads, running Google ads, running Facebook ads, running TikTok ads, and you're having multiple landing pages, you want to know where these people are coming from. If they're coming from Facebook, you're going to want to know, okay, so we add a Facebook tag. If they're coming from Google, for example, and you've got a specific Google landing page, you can add that to there. Now for this instance, we're just going to place the hot list tag in my CRM. So now we have this as add tag. So now we know this traffic, this lead has come from Facebook. Now we've got the tag. The next thing we're going to be doing is send a notification to the team. You're going to send an email, place your email inside of here, place your name inside of here, then select the user type. I have a particular, it's going to have me for this instance, subject, new lead, via Facebook, and whatever you'd like. But this subject is completely different. Exactly. Just put here, hi, location name, who's kind of custom values, and then come over first name. Now we have this automated email that will send directly to the contact who's in charge of that lead. So we can just put action next. Send email to the sales team. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do, back to that lead. We can just put SMS here. And what we're going to do is we're going to send them hi. A lead name, so we're going to go into custom values again, contact, first name. We've just sent an automated message to this lead, letting them know that we've got their information and what time they're free for a call. Bear this in mind, you can only do this if you're in the US, if you're A2P 10 DLC registered. I will link my video to get A2P registered in the description. So you're going to send SMS. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add into is a wait. So we're going to wait for the reply. Now what you can do is you can have a time delay, you can have wait until appointment, when someone sets an appointment, you can have this wait, which is also really, really good. You can have it so if you're sending invoices, this will wait until they've been paid or past the due date. This to do is if you get a reply from that message. Here, save that action. Now what's going to happen is this is going to wait. Reply. So now the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to have an if. What we're going to have is wait by section. Here we go. A contact replied through. So now what we can do is we can have a follow-up. So if they don't reply to the message, what we can do is we can send them another message, first name, and if they did reply, so what we can do on this side is we can move them in the pipeline. Warm lead or something. But what we application now us sales manager lead. Okay, now we have the internal notification. We can also do direct, other SMS, other them in pipeline. Test. What we can also do, we can click update opportunity. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to SMS them as well. My SMS, send an SMS to the lead. What I have here is for update opportunity again. Lead like that. So we have this out. This is essentially the simplest we can make this automation and make this follow up. Now, if you want to go any further, things will take more time and things will get more complex. But that's not to say you won't be able to do it as a beginner. It's just going to take some more time and some more thinking. That will be the end of this video. But if you'd like me to do a more in-depth explanation of how you can make a full breakdown and a full follow-up system long-term for your pipeline, let me know and I'll make a video upon that. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as there's more videos on this channel that you may find will help you along the way your journey to become a master. If you'd like all of my automations and my pre-made templates to creating similar automations to this but in far more depth, then there's a 14-day GoHighLevel trial in the description. Sign up for. You've got a free call with me and all of my templates on GoHighLevel to all of my automation.